Okay, let's talk about LSU. We'll get to Oklahoma here very, very shortly. Over under win total at FanDuel Sportsbook of 8.5, minus 134 to the over, plus 110 to the under. Brian Kelly. So let's say, in fact, that Brian Kelly, after having 2 years of Jaden Daniels and after making it to the SEC championship in year one, but falling short, if he's 8-4, 9-3, I mean, what is the response from LSU if that's the case?
Gone.
For real.
Gone. You're going the wrong direction. This is LSU. You're not supposed to go 4 seasons without winning a national title. I mean, that's pretty much how it's like. They start, like you said, he got to the SEC title game his first year, 10-4, goes 10-3 in year 2, drops back to 9 wins last year. And again, they have Jaden Daniels. They had the best player in the country, and they fall back, or they still only went 10-3. They replace him. They get Nussmeier in. They go down to 9 wins. The problem that you had in 2023 was your defense. You didn't fix it going into 2024 when you really had to fix it because you were losing Jaden Daniels. If they don't fix that defense again and it's the same product out there, like, they're not going to give you a 5th chance. They've given you 4. So I don't know, man. I don't. If he only wins 9 games, he is gone.
I would say if you came with that heat with 8 games, I could maybe get behind it. But 9, again, if he's right there, and some of this does have to do with playoff appearance, but I think 9-3 probably doesn't get you in, just like this past season doesn't get you in. So you're right there on the outside looking in. But man, I think it would put him squarely on the hot seat the following season. I think he would survive 9-3. I think 8-4 that'd be the one where I wouldn't be shocked if they made a move.
You better beat Clemson to start the year, because if you lose that game,
what if Clemson goes on and makes the playoff themselves and they're a playoff team? Doesn't matter.
If you lose that game to Clemson, it's just going to set a bad tone. Where it's like everybody's just going to be looking for a reason at that point.
They lost back-to-back games to Florida State to start the season.
I know.
Yeah, and guess what? We're talking about him being on the hot seat now.
Yeah. I mean, there is.
Chip, you agree 9-3, he's done.
No, I don't agree 9-3, he's done. But I'm not coming with that kind of fire for it.
What if Notre Dame's back in the playoff?
What?
What if Notre Dame's back in the playoff?
They probably will be.
So you've brought Brian Kelly from Notre Dame where he couldn't win. He's been at your program now for 4 years, hasn't made the playoffs once. Notre Dame made the title game last year, and they're back in the playoff. Are you starting to think, maybe it wasn't Brian Kelly?
He did play for a national title and made the playoffs a couple times with Notre Dame.
He made the playoffs.
He did
so
win.
Maybe it's Notre Dame is my point.
So all right, let's make it even juicier. If Bryce Underwood is amazing,
now
you're starting to talk me into a 9-3 is going to end up. I mean, the transfer portal whiffs of last offseason, getting all those players on campus, not being able to land them, going into the interview and saying we're not in the business of buying players, having a defense that wasn't quite fixed, a team that was talented but flawed, and then going into this year, losing Bryce Underwood's commitment, who had been, you thought you were just holding on to that one. This was going to, fix everything. We go from Nuss to Underwood. We're good to go. You're going to get one more year of Nussmeier, and then the future looks a little bit cloudy. I would make sure that this LSU team is in the mix for an SEC championship at the start of November.
Yeah, and Nuss better take a step forward.
Yeah, I think that's all right. So it's 8-4 done. Would you jump on that, Danny?
I could buy that. 9-3. I'm not buying that. I also think there's so much is there a quote or something that would get him in trouble that would put him more squarely on some aloof, cocky quote that doesn't resonate with the fans? I could see that throwing gasoline on this fire. Throwing his players under the bus one more time after a game, if it is, the 4th loss of the season. I could see some of those scenarios come into play where maybe I would buy it a little bit more.
I mean,
Just
they weren't
because-
a disciplined team.
Let me pitch
No.
it to you guys this way. They're 9-3, okay? Their losses are all on the road. Clemson, Ole Miss, and Alabama. The 9 wins come against Louisiana Tech, Florida, Southeast Louisiana, South Carolina, Vandy, A&M, Arkansas, Western Kentucky, and Oklahoma. Which one of those wins is saving his job?
A&M.
At home? An A&M team that probably going to be 8-4?
Well, hey, not losing at home to A&M saves your job.
Just saying, I don't know what he's going to hang his head on if he's 9-3 and he loses those 3 games.
It's
Especially because Nuss will be gone.
Yeah.
So what's the quarterback? What's the replacement plan here? You don't have Underwood. There's not a whole lot to look forward to in the next year that you're like, all right, well, we'll come through next season. And hell, you had Jaden Daniels for 2 years. Didn't win with him. Why should we think you're going to win with the next guy?